well, somebody to my left is talking a lot of shit.
Hey, man. I'm very good. What can I say?
Oh, yeah.
100%
You got to know how to
luck.
manage your team.
Oh, yeah. He caught
100%
right
luck.
on. So he's out of the 3 games that we've visited, 3 or 4?
This is our 4th game.
Oh, so he's won 1 of 4, and he's just over there strutting like a
All
cock.
I know is that I opened up Yahoo Fantasy and it said, congratulations, and it was like, had balloons and shit going off.
You're not in last place.
I was like, well, it doesn't matter. I mean,
I am in last place.
It was showering me with praise for my win.
You had that open, and you were watching it by the second. You weren't watching the games. You were just watching that.
Oh, yeah.
You go, I have to win. I have to beat
And then I
Jeff.
took a picture of it and I sent it
It
to you guys.
is
Yes, you
a all natural dudes like us moment, and playing fantasy football with a bunch of buds, and it's a rivalry that never ends. It's a dudes like us moment. It's October 4th.
How many points did you get?
I'm Sean.
I'm Paul,
And I'm Jeff.
and I had more than 60 points.
How many points?
And you didn't.
Jeff, you have 0 wins. All right.
That
My-
had to be historic low, though. I don't think I've seen a
No,
score
last
that
year
low.
you were in the 50, weren't you? About 50?
Oh.
Last year.
Yeah, that was last year.
I don't remember.
So you're improving.
What frustrates me is I would have
you-
beaten, I think,
know.
9
We
of the
always
12
say
teams.
this.
Yes, this
the
past
same
weekend.
song
You
and
lost
dance.
and got the higher score than everybody else. You would have beat everybody else had you played them. Yes.
Oh, I mean, but look at like last year, Beavers. Beavers was extremely upset. They had like the highest points, and they were like in 8th place.
right.
And it was just like everyone they played had a record week.
That's what pisses me off about the whole FF.
Well, you
Fantasy
shouldn't get
football
mad at all.
Why?
It's who gives a
It's
shit?
stupid.
Paul, if you would have lost, you would have been pissed off. You'd be like,
Oh,
no,
he'd been
you
like
know.
cocking around.
I know. Okay, first off,
Russell sucks.
I never. Okay, I don't know what you're doing.
Fucking little
when you
cry
make that
spasm
noise.
there.
Yeah, no, I don't make any of those noises.
Yeah.
I do not act like that.
Yeah.
I used to get upset.
Oh, well, I was confused.
but not anymore.
That was the noise I heard this afternoon because you lost your cup.
I'm not sure where it is. I think it's. I think
God.
It's in your
I-
vagina, probably.
You know,
No,
we
I
go
think
out of
it's
our
my-
way
I think
to
it's
get a
my
cup.
my father-in-law's backpack. But
Well, you need to.
in Houston.
You
right,
need to.
which
firm
I just
up
came
that.
from.
Wow.
Had
Oh
I
yeah,
known,
you went to go see the game.
I did. I was at the Texans and Chargers game, and Brody went with us because he's, he kind of always gets screwed because the other boys have gone to different games and he has never gone to a game. And I'm like, well, son, you're not a sports fan. Like you never watch some sports with me. You never, ever talk about it.
Right.
And so I said, okay, fine, let's just go to this game.
Well, maybe it's
and
not about the game. Maybe it's just hanging out with Pop.
That's what I said. I said, enjoy this game. It's going to be fun. And it,
well,
and
why
it was.
would you even contest it?
Well, I mean,
Trying to make him feel like shit because he wants to spend time with his dad.
No, I mean, but at some point, I'll find something else to do with him. You know what I mean? We'll go bowling or we'll go.
Take him to a badminton contest.
Go to the skate park.
Yeah.
Go to the skate park and skateboard with them.
And I've done that. As a matter of fact, when we were in Tucson, I took him down to a skate park and that was like 30 minutes away, right?
Did you rollerblade?
I didn't do anything other than just sit there.
Oh,
Well, you should have gotten on and done some
Some tricks
hoop to hoops and
Yeah.
whatever those
on
tricks
a
are
scooter
called. Yeah.
and die
Well, he how many times he's broken his arm?
a whole bunch. He's broken both wrists. He
You would have
has
gotten on the thing. Would have been like an instant knee break or something.
instant death.
yeah.
I would have spontaneously combusted before he was even
Sir,
moving.
you have 230 bones in your body. You broke all of them.
Yeah, all but one.
We're gonna call you evil.
How many
Knievel.
bones are in the body? Is it 230, 232, 218,
I
215,
don't know.
213? I say 213.
Brandon knows this.
All right,
I
Mr. Producer.
I do not.
I say
Curl-
263.
I say 213, 263. What do you say, Paul?
I'm going to go with 263. Is that what you just
you
said?
can't. It's the same
Oh, he just
thing.
said that? All right, I'm going to go 257.
206. That was closest.
Oh, we all overbid again.
Yep. Paul, you should have said 1.
No, you said
I
two.
should have.
You both said 263. I said 213. So
I got more numbers right. 2 and a 6.
no. Mine was two.
That's what we
I
go
said
by.
213, but I was counting my penis as twice or like 5
Well,
times.
that would be boner.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jeff
All right,
was
well, there you have
counting.
it.
Jeff was counting the bones in his fucking nostrils that he calls hair.
Yeah, those
Yeah,
are.
that's,
Dogs.
that's cartilage.
Yeah, those are. Those
206 bones. That's interesting.
those are chitinous.
Yeah, a lot of bones in the human body. A lot in the wrist.
I mean, do you guys
lot
ever
going
give
on
a
there.
shit about
And your
like any
feet.
of that stuff? Biology. That's biology, right? In
Yeah.
high school?
I
I
don't know
found
if
that
I-
interesting.
Did
Yeah.
you?
Yeah, they had the skeleton. In fact, this past weekend, Mr. Producer assembled a skeleton in our room for we're pulling down a bunch of Halloween things and getting decorated, getting ready
Oh,
for
that's
it.
kinda
Yeah,
cool.
I actually had to learn this. I had some
The hip bone's
class,
connected to the
a basic biology
tailbone,
class
the
in
tailbone's
college,
connected to the
and I had to learn all these
thigh bone,
bones.
thigh bone's connected to the knee bone.
coccyx.
Da, da, buddy, ba, ba.
Doom, 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 doom.
Why are some blue?
Yeah, they get
What are-
the
what are they-
fibula and the
what are they-
tibula.
What are the colors? Are those just
They're just trying to separate. We're looking at a picture of the human skeleton, and
Yeah.
yes, they're all different colored bones. I think they're just trying to,
Trying to differentiate, the
Yes,
different
thank you.
little shoulder blades back there compared to the
Yeah.
collarbone, so to speak.
Well, how
and
come this says there are over 206 bones in the body?
Oh,
there are over 200, and well, maybe they're talking about some people have. Is a tooth considered a bone?
No, that's the tooth. But they have a bunch of finger and feet bones.
There's ear bones.
Maybe those people that like
Ooh.
they hypothetically count that extra knuckle in there. We got,
There you
I'm
go.
on them 3 knuckles deep.
Yeah. Oh God. Somewhere in the range of 270 to 300.
So,
babies.
There I go. I win.
Babies are born.
That's because your skull is not completely formed yet.
Oh, I'm sure a bunch of bones are not
Yeah.
fused. Yeah, it says the bones fuse together and become, less bones. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, your vertebrae. Some of your vertebrae. As an adult, you have 24. I think it said babies have 33. I think that's what it said.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Chemistry's the same way. I couldn't have cared less about chemistry, but now I'm watching Breaking Bad.
You're like, I want to make meth.
And no, I don't want to make meth, but
You want to melt people.
but it literally, I mean, it makes it interesting how
How easy and plain shit is, and you got to set up the right conditions to do it.
It's not even that. It's how he breaks that down into a chemistry experiment as opposed to which it is, of course. But
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
I find it it's fascinating. I
It is a
enjoyed it
fascinating
when
show.
I was in when I was that age and taking the classes where you would have some water that was in the classroom, like with a plant,
Yeah.
and you take an eyedropper and pull out a little water and put it on a slide and look under there, and you got all these wigglies moving, and
Yeah.
I
Like
thought.
the parameciums.
Yeah, well, whatever they were, the protozoa, Austin would know
Amoebas.
more. He
Brain
just
amoeba.
took that class.
I had an embarrassing moment in that class. That's when everybody was supposed to pluck a hair out of
Did
their
you show up without
their
pants?
scalp, and then everybody put it under their microscopes, and she would ask, "Okay, what do you see?" You zoom in and see the follicle, and I'm looking at mine, and there's like a bug hanging on it.
Are you kidding me?
No, I was not, and a little microscopic bug. It looked like a little.
Like a mite.
It looked like an armored koala bear.
Like a scabies.
Dude, did you have a lice?
Did you have
no,
scabies?
lice is much bigger than
Could have
that.
been scabies.
Could have had scabies.
No, scabies
they have
doesn't hang
scabies.
around hair like that.
Anyway, so I'm like, I called the teacher over. That's a big mistake. I should have just been like,
Oh,
okay.
hey, everybody, come look at this.
Right. So she's looking at it, and people are getting interested, and then of course people started making fun of me.
look at Paul. He's
'Cause I
got
have-
bugs in his
Hey,
ear.
yeah, I've got. Okay, why is everybody from New Jersey? In every podcast I listen to, that all.
Hey, Paul, he's got these. You got these bugs in his ear.
Is that what it
Especially
looked
the
like?
last one I listened to. Oh, Archie, or whatever you do. God,
That's not me. That's Jeff.
no,
That
it
was
was
not
you.
me.
Crazy.
Well,
Anyway,
well-
yes, they were making fun of me because I had a bug hanging on my
Well,
hair.
what do scabies
I'm sure
look
they were
like?
making fun of you for other reasons.
Oh, they were making fun of me all the time.
Go to scabies.
I'm the hearing impaired kid.
Oh,
God, I had an awful childhood.
come on.
It
You
wasn't
got to
that
go
bad.
over to
I was
Fred's
actually-
house and watch their
Is that what it
parents
looked like?
undress.
Okay, well, that was awful. That was traumatic.
Is that it?
And there's scabies. Scabies
Oh,
is a little
God.
bit different. Scabies will burrow down into the skin.
That looks like something out of Star Wars.
Yeah, that was kind of weird.
Look at that thing. It's got like 3 gigantic legs. What are those things in the
Wow,
front?
that is a rather large pregnant scabie. What is that?
That's just going to burrow.
That thing looks larger than a regular scabie. That's
Oh,
like the mother load.
God, that's disgusting.
Maybe it's engorged on your skin. And
She's probably pregnant.
I don't know what it was, but this is
Viscera.
microscopic. Well, these are obviously microscopic, right? The little,
well,
are
the
they
big
tiny?
one is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, you know what?
that's terrible looking.
That type of stuff fascinates me because it's like they have these computer rendering of an infinity type of organism, of the crystal or something, where the camera's way out and
It
it
just
just
keeps
zooms
going
in,
in.
and it
Yeah.
just keeps going into infinity.
You're talking about
And-
Ant-Man?
No, I'm just like
What are you
they.
talking about?
Those are like fractals.
Was that serious?
Fractals is a math. Go look up fractals, and you'll see that it has something to do with math. I think.
But you're saying these are like super microscopes?
Well, I mean, it's not real. So
it's not real.
yeah,
Okay.
see right there, it's kind of like you zoom in, and then there's like another picture. Will kind of, it's like zooming in from outer space onto Earth, and it's just
Okay.
like you can keep going, you can keep going, you can
So
keep
this is
going.
just like a fun art thing?
Well,
Yeah.
Fractals they're a math thing, but they're non. The pattern does not repeat itself.
yeah,
ever.
it's like the golden ratio, so to speak.
yeah, it's weird. I used to know that.
I have never heard of this before.
Never heard of fractals?
No. I've heard of fractions.
You've heard of fracking?
Heard of fracking.
Heard
Shut-
of sharding.
Shut the frick up.
Shut the frick up.
I know the one time in my chemistry class, so it was me, my buddy Roger, and my friend Jeff, two guys I still talk to from my youth.
That's amazing.
And we were in chemistry class together. We had every single class together in high school. Every single class. We had chemistry, and we were partners. Big mistake.
Yeah, those are solid pictures there, Mr. Bruce. Put up
And
there.
one of them, I don't remember what the experiment was, but it had to do had sulfuric acid or hydrochloric acid, and we had it in a little
Beaker.
beaker, and you could see the fumes
Yeah.
coming up.
Yeah.
And I told my friend Roger, I was like, I wonder what it smells like. You should smell it.
Oh my God.
Ooh, that was
And
a
he
bad
went
call.
in and just snorted the thing, and these fumes went up his nose. And the teacher saw him do it. And
Well,
he let
didn't she immediately warn everybody this is acid, everybody blah blah blah.
his name was Roger. What was his name? Kirsch. And he let him do it because he knew it was going to burn, but it really wasn't going to hurt him. And he jumped back about 10 feet because it hurt so bad. And the whole class was like, what just happened? And the teacher called out and goes, Roger's a dumbass, and snorted the acid fumes. It was
God.
hysterical.
Yeah, no, I don't joke about that after what happened with my chlorine incident, man. I thought I was going to die.
Yeah, chemicals are no fun.
It's
Yeah.
no fun.
Even regular household stuff that you think is innocent, you get a compilation of things that you're not really sure. You're just like, I got to get this damn stain out. I've tried just about fucking everything, and then you apply one more element on there. Next thing you know, all hell breaks loose, and you've got fucking open sores on your arm, and yeah, it's a mess.
You know what's weird? Growing up, my
Yeah,
sister
you're
and
not supposed to
I,
mix shit.
when we were young, probably I was 10, 11, she was 12, 13, on a boring day, like on a Sunday, and it was storming out, right? And we didn't have anything to do. We didn't have video games. We didn't have that. TV wasn't 24/7 like it is now.
Right.
To entertain ourselves, we would go around and get a bowl, and we would dump every single chemical in our house in it. Just see what would happen.
What the
Yeah,
hell?
so that brought back some memories, huh?
It did. And I was thinking back, I was like, God, that was probably really stupid.
That was really stupid.
Oh, look at it change color. Ooh, it's swirling.
I don't think there was really a probably about it. It
But
was
I remember doing that. We did that a couple times.
definitely stupid.
And my parents knew what we were doing. They just went, all right, go. They're not bothering me.
Yeah.
Well, it's no different than us lighting shit on fire and putting firecrackers in a model airplane and throwing it. You know what I mean? We did a
Yeah.
lot of stupid stuff.
Yeah, I blame my sister for that.
Yeah, we used to,
She was older.
we used to fry, ants with magnifying glasses, and we used to do cool stuff. I didn't do the mean stuff. There were people that like would take frogs and, pour acid on them and do.
No, we never did that.
There was some dark, disturbing stuff that
Yeah, we did the.
some people did.
I remember I went over to my friend Jeff's house, and a couple of the older. His brother had older. He was older, maybe 7 or 8 years older, so he was a teenager, and he had some friends over. And I remember they would find these bees,
Right.
and they would pull the wings off, and they'd put two of them in a thing and let them fight.
Oh God.
So they would do that.
It was
I remember watching
like cockfighting.
What?
Chickens.
that. Oh,
No.
Oh, what kind of cockfighting do you guys do?
I had some friends that did that with
Spearing.
flies, big horse flies.
yeah, those are nasty, man.
They would
they?
would glue them to toothpicks and make them like little airplanes. It's like they would make an airplane.
Those
and
horse flies are huge.
and the horse flies would literally. You can imagine a toothpick little plane. and then gluing it to that, and then the thing's taken off. Because then you got two horse flies, and then they're kind of they're struggling, but it works though.
Those bite your ass, and man, it hurts.
They do hurt.
Jimmy Crack Corn. Remember that song?
Is that what that was about?
I believe so. Yeah,
I thought it was Jimmy Crapped Corn.
Jimmy Crack Corn.
Oh,
Jimmy Crack Corn.
It's a song. I don't remember the words for it, but it was a song that we used to sing in grade school in choir. Jimmy Crack Corn, and I don't care. That's all I know of it. And then
okay.
it was about. I don't know what the lyrics are. Pull it up, Mr. Producer. But I think it had a horsefly in it for some reason.
Jimmy Crack Corn.
Yeah, Jimmy Crack Corn lyrics.
Yeah, we know this
karaoke version. Jimmy Crack Corn and I don't care. Jimmy Crack Corn and I don't care. Jimmy Crack Corn and I don't care. My master's gone away. When he would ride in the afternoon to follow him with the hickory broom, the pony being rather shy would have bitten by the blue-tailed fly.
I thought it was horse. I thought it was a horsefly, but that's how long ago it was.
Bitten by the blue-tailed
So
fly.
it's like a bluegrass.
So Jimmy
bluegrass
Crack Corn, I don't
country
care.
song.
Hold on, but listen to. Hold on, but don't scroll back down. So my master's gone away. So let's break this down a little bit. So the pony when he would ride in the afternoon, I'd follow him with my hickory broom. So he was riding on the hickory broom. Oh, so this is the bug. I'd follow him with my hickory broom. The pony being rather shy when bitten by the blue-tail fly. All right, so what is this song about?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
But he says, my master's gone away. So either, are they talking about a slave? Or are they talking
Could
about...
be. It's an old song.
Jimmy Crack Corn and I don't care. What the hell? I have no idea what...
It's an very old piece of slang for sitting around idly gossiping. A more likely explanation is that Jimmy cracked open a jug of his master's corn whiskey and kicked it back a bit. Either way, nobody cares because the master was gone away and wouldn't be coming back.
I don't know. I remember it was a song we sang in 4th or 5th grade.
So sitting around idly gossiping is basically kind of what this is. What the thing is. What does it mean? But I still don't get any of it. I guess they have a whole bunch of.
he kills his master later.
What?
Yeah, throws him in the ditch.
Yeah.
He died, and the jury
he says,
wondered
well,
why.
The pony jumped. He pitched. He threw my master in the ditch. He died, and the jury wondered why. The verdict was the blue-tail fly.
Yeah, see? That's a good nursery rhyme.
Wow, yeah. Well, that's no different than the ring around the rosie's pocket full of posies. That's the Black Plague.
Yeah.
Has to do with, right?
So
when a whole bunch of people
first
died.
performed in the 1840s by blackface minstrel groups. It tells the story of a young slave named Jimmy who tells us, when I was young, I used to wait on the master and hand him his plate and pass the bottle when he got dry and brush away the blue-tail fly. It develops when his master went on the horseback when Jimmy's assignment was to follow along and brush away the annoying blue-tail fly. So that's why he has the hickory broomstick.
Right.
Is to keep the hell's going on?
Jimmy Crack Corn. I wonder if they still sing that in grade school these days.
I don't think so.
You're not even allowed to.
You're
not allowed to sit Indian style anymore.
I know, so dumb.
What?
Yeah, it's called crisscross applesauce.
Crisscross applesauce. Well, that was back when. Not when we were in school, but it wasn't. It was a while ago.
Well, that's what our kids were in school.
Right.
Well, it is weird.
And I was
Indian
like, no,
style.
it's sitting Indian style.
Yeah, but I mean,
when you hold on, when you said that minstrel group, right? That's exactly what people are freaking out about with the Texas Longhorn song. Apparently, there's some history with some minstrel group, which is has racist.
You can just let that fly out of there. Jimmy cracked corn.
Well, yeah, Jimmy did crack corn.
Jeff just shit himself.
No.
Jeffrey cracked corn.
Paul.
Anyway, that's interesting. This minstrel group thing. I don't even know what minstrel groups are. I guess there's some folk gypsies or something.
Menstrual?
Minstrel, right?
As in women
No.
stuff?
No. Minstrel. But I just, I don't understand. That came up in the University of Texas fight song.
Yeah, somebody was upset about something about that.
The Eyes of Texas or whatever. It had to do with some minstrel. I don't.
Screw that.
Anyway, very interesting.
They want to take away all the traditions and
Well, and what's interesting about it is I don't even think they know the history, right? They have no idea what the history really means.
That's what it was. Okay. So the boy that was supposed to be taking care of the flies got drunk. And then one day, the flies were especially thick. The horse was bitten and panicked, and the master was thrown into a ditch, breaking his neck. An investigation followed the verdict to put the blame for the master's demise on the blue-tail fly. Jimmy was off the hook and was in a good mood. Now, at last, to the part about the cracking corn. That was a very old piece of slang for sitting around idly gossiping. So, Jimmy, cracking corn means sitting around gossiping, kind of like
what
Colonel
we do.
Pop. Like popping corn. Colonel popping
Right.
I think we should
corn.
change the name of our podcast to Cracking Corn.
We should. Cracking corn.
3 dudes cracking corn.
Corn crackers.
Corn cracking dudes.
crackers.
Huh.
There you go.
I'm gonna-
Hey, it's Sean,
I'm gonna
Paul,
pass.
and Jeff. We're cracking corn here in Frisco, Texas.
Same accent.
Yeah,
Is that
well,
New Jersey
Same,
accent?
yeah, same dialect. You can't
He wants
see-
to live there. Remember he went last year?
I
He's
know,
like,
because
this,
it's the most beautiful place on earth.
I
it
wanna-
was beautiful there.
Yeah.
You can't deny
yeah,
it.
you heard us.
Yeah.
I mean, you told
He
us
was like,
all
I
about
want
it.
to move here. They have Irish bars on every block.
They had so many.
Crazy.
It was wonderful.
You
I
just-
felt at home.
You literally went from one Irish bar to the
Dude,
next.
I was up one rainbow and down another.
Oh my god. All right.
See, and that's the weird thing about it. I can't even say that.
What?
What?
Because
Wow.
you think of an Irish leprechaun and the rainbow following you to another pot of gold. And now it's like related to all this other stuff. It's like they stole the rainbow.
Well, bigger than that is God's covenant in the Old Testament,
Oh, well.
and they did. They totally hijacked the rainbow,
I'm taking it back.
taking it back.
I'm taking it back. I want my rainbow back.
That would be a bumper sticker. I'm taking my rainbow back.
Yeah.
Bitch.
Yeah.
Wow, you can't say bitch. That's
No.
offensive.
Hey, man. Hey, acronyms. I'm taking my rainbow back.
LBQY this.
No. Just acronyms.
Oh, just acronyms.
Yeah, because that way, what are they going to say?
It could be ambiguous.
It could be.
They don't know what acronyms you're talking about.
Oh, I like where this is going.
Yeah, I like it. We're
Yeah.
taking our rainbow back.
Yeah, we'll never do anything about it. But you know what? The thought here is inspiring enough.
Is
You
it?
ever have those thoughts? Like I'll share a thought with you.
Oh, boy.
Like when the kids were going to junior high or
Yes.
elementary, whatever the fuck it is, and they had those the crosswalk guards.
Right.
Yes.
And I was thinking, God, those ladies are out there every morning. Doesn't matter. And you know, I think I should buy them a gift certificate just to say, hey man, thank you
Yeah.
for making sure our kids are
A
safe.
thankless job.
And you know, I never did it, but
Of course
was-
not. We never do.
it was just the thought that I could have done it, which made me warm and fuzzy on
Yeah,
the
which
inside.
made you feel good inside.
yeah, I was kind of like, you know
Even though
what?
you
That
never
is
did
such a
shit.
good thought, man.
That's like me saying that I was gonna every single time for Christmas, whenever the trash people come to pick up the can, I'm gonna be waiting out there with a bottle of Jack.
Right.
Never done it.
Yeah, that's odd that you would do that. Now I
Give 'em
have.
booze.
I've given the garbage guys money. I give the garbage guys $100 a year.
Well, you throw out like 800 pounds of trash a week.
Right.
I have so many.
I don't
people
understand
in
how
my
much
house.
trash you
They
make.
hate you. That's why you give them $100 a year.
Man, they think I'm funny, man. Because I come out in my underwear because I hear them coming and
God.
I run outside. I've got one shoe off and one not. And I'm still pitching a hard on from the morning hard on.
Oh,
and it's just
great.
bouncing around. I don't even care. And you know, and he comes out. He's like, "Those damn kids, they just never get it out in time, do they?" And I'm just like,
And you're still drunk.
I might be. I don't know.
Those dicks hanging out. What do you think?
Yeah, really.
You got one sock on.
We do not
Oh,
need.
now I know where my other sock went. Yeah.
We do not need a visual on that.
God.
No, negative. We already talked about the bourbon, right? Old
No,
settler.
No,
didn't,
we
but-
did not.
Well,
We-
I mean,
we
this one
haven't?
was kind of weird. So when we show, Paul and I show up over at Jeff's house for the podcast, and dudes like us, and you know, and usually Jeff's sitting there with eating. What Jeff does is he waits to the absolute last second, whenever Julie's here, and he's kind of like, I am not wasting a second of time with my wife.
Yeah,
you guys
that's
can
right.
suck it.
Yeah.
And,
I
but
applaud
when-
that.
But when he's not, no, man, he had like 6 bottles all laid out. Glasses were put out there. It was just
Yeah.
a complete show. I'm telling you, it looks really sharp, and we need to add that kind of stuff to the podcast.
The Instagram.
So we walk in, we got a collection of bottles to pick from. And, you just look at, like, you can look at a movie screen, you can look at, or a title, you can look at a book cover, and it's just like, man, you don't know what you're going to get based on the label, And so Paul's kind of like, you know what, this one's been skipped over so many times. We just need to give it a shot. And so, you know what, we took the diamond in the rough, and we're not quite sure it was a diamond, but at first it was kind of toxic. What was the name of this? It was Old
Settler.
Yeah,
Old Settler. It's a sour mash.
It had a rough nose, I'll be honest.
It did. And but being the sommelier bourbon people we are,
Yes.
which we're not, but we do know enough to where if we leave it out long enough to let it breathe, it absolutely opens up other stuff. And that's exactly what has happened. It's opened up a whole chain of sweetness.
Yeah, I'd give it a solid. It's a solid.
Probably 6.5, 7.
Yeah, that's what I would go with too.
Julie, did you just burp?
And
I heard it.
It's 100 proof.
Well, I think it says some of the tasting notes or in the nose it says raisin. I think I could smell that now because I smell something different on this one.
It's amazing how different the initial taste and the initial nose can be after it opens up. It is amazing. And we've talked about before just putting a cube in it, even putting 2 drops of water in it. I mean, it can make any bourbon that you just think is awful
better,
be completely different.
Not necessarily better, but
it changes it.
Different.
Well,
Hopefully better.
Just like bringing any barrel strength bourbon and adding a little water to it's going to change the dynamics of it. But it definitely, like right now, it's pleasant.
Yeah, it is.
You know what I don't get? Regarding some of these bourbon tastings, those folks out there that do taste it, is how they complement it with the cigars. To me,
I can't do the cigars.
Yeah, I'm out.
I did a cigar at German Fest.
Yeah,
and I don't like it.
Yeah, I did that once in college and one and done.
I've went through a period where I enjoyed cigars for an extended period of time. And then all of a sudden, I couldn't do it anymore because it was tearing my system up. And I really haven't done it since then. In fact, anytime I thought I was like, oh, I'm going to give it a shot, it would always just made me feel horrible. So,
yeah, I've always heard that when you smoke a cigar, it's the equivalent of 5 cigarettes, right?
Well, I mean,
but then there's a lot of people that don't even light it. They just chew on it.
Yeah.
Right? They just kind of chomp on a cigar.
Yeah, just kind of see it in the side
and
of the
how
mouth.
is that?
I mean, it's probably like dip or something. I don't know. You put dip or Copenhagen in your mouth.
I guess so.
I don't know. Well, I know when I smoked that, I woke up that probably early 5 o'clock. Felt like I wanted to puke everywhere.
Yeah.
I felt nasty. I was like, I'm not doing.
Yeah.
Maybe you get used to it.
Like
but
something died in your mouth.
I felt very caustic inside.
The dudes like us, well, I mean, Jeff and I were out at Oktoberfest in downtown McKinney last week. Paul was out of town doing something.
This last weekend?
Two ones.
No, it was the Oktoberfest 2 weekends ago.
No, it was A&M. That's where you were.
Yeah, you were at the A&M game. That's what it was.
Well, so I was in town. But
but you weren't at the A&M. So Jeff and I were downtown, and after the Oktoberfest, we went over to the cigar lounge place you were talking about.
Right.
And, look, in Fuego Cigar Shop downtown. Great atmosphere.
Oh, yeah.
The folks there are great. There's Taylor, who's been on the podcast before.
Right.
He works there, and just walking in, you don't even need to smoke. You just walk in. But the point where I'm driving this...
It's overwhelming.
I don't. Yeah, it's just because
kind of pass out and fall down
and coincidentally, I went to another cigar place, but I'm going to talk. I don't know how they complement each other. I don't appreciate the difference between them. So I don't sit there. And granted, when I went to the other cigar place this past weekend, which is odd that I've gone to a cigar bourbon place
2 weekends
twice
in a row.
Within a couple weeks is ridiculous. I mean, I haven't gone to one in decades, let alone.
And you're saying you went with people. It wasn't like
I was
your
invited.
Decision. Yeah,
I was invited, but I've got a little story about this that it really grinds my gears, and it's places that So I was invited to this place. I'm not going to talk about where it was. But they had a little private cigar room in the back. It wasn't a booby bar or anything like that. It was just a regular place where guys go, a little bar, pub, spirits, whatever. And in the back, they have a nice, elegant place. So,
nice dark woods, like a library.
Yeah, like a grinder hookup.
Ooh.
No.
It was a bunch of dudes.
No.
Oh. Right.
No, that was not it. No.
Oh, okay. Keep
Was there
going.
any nudity?
So no, there was no nudity.
Well,
Yeah.
that's good.
Only when I went to the bathroom.
Oh,
but
That's
you know.
good for you.
All right. Good.
So we're sitting there, and I order a Weller's Foolproof. Mr. Producer, can you pull up Weller's Foolproof, please, and find out the cost
Is
of
that
that?
Is
I've
that
never even heard of
is that the
foolproof.
black label?
Weller's Foolproof. I don't know. I don't remember.
I bet it's
No.
I bet it's $60 a bottle.
Well, we'll see here. Let's just.
Yeah,
um,
but, yeah,
blue
but
bottle.
But can you find it anywhere?
No, it's not $400. I can tell you that.
Well, you gotta.
It's
Actually,
not $400.
actually, that may have.
It looks like
No, this is aftermarket.
right.
All right, we'll go into
Well, that's
shopping.
a pretty blue label.
Go up shopping. The click. Go
I've never even heard of this.
to the right.
Well,
to
we
right,
have
bam.
we have the special reserve, $90.
Huh.
Does it say okay? So it was foolproof, whatever the foolproof. So the foolproof, there's $179 one. It looked like.
This is aftermarket stuff.
Yeah, well, it varies dramatically in the aftermarket pricing.
Yeah, the stuff we buy, that Weller 107, we could get $400 for. That 750 is not $60. That's probably $24.
All right. Well, it was a foolproof Weller's, and I don't know. It's very misleading looking at that.
I know it is.
But and if it was $400, okay. But here's where I'm getting at. What really grinds my gears is that when you go into a place like that, how much would you suspect each drink was? Well, I ordered a foolproof old fashioned. What would you think that would cost?
Well, I mean,
12,
okay, so
15
that's
bucks,
a
maybe,
premium. That's
max.
a premium bourbon.
Yeah.
So I'm going with, and you got probably an ounce and a half.
Standard old fashioned.
And you know, when we went to Rare Books Club, those were what? They were $20 to $30 shots. So I'm going with $30.
Yeah. What say you, Senor Jeff?
Now, if you're in a bar with a shot, I was out in Disney World and I had their select bourbon, and it was $18.
Well,
That's Disney World,
Okay.
Old fashioned though.
old fashioned.
$49.
Yeah,
Whoa.
$49.
they're smoking crack.
But here's the thing: we ordered them, and here's the thing: we ordered another one and another one.
But you didn't pay for them. This a vendor?
It doesn't matter. The point is that
It was.
nobody knew how
Like-
much they cost, and if any drink cost that much,
Oh,
I think
you were ordering not knowing how much they were.
correct.
So
'Cause-
then the bill came, and you're like,
yeah, I just that could have been it right there. That blue right there.
It's $59.99 at Liquor King.
Yeah. Well,
well,
so
how come we've never seen it?
It's hard to find. It's going to be up on the top shelf. It'll be a,
Oh, the point
that's
ones.
that's
One.
perfect, Mr. Producer. Thank you for doing
$60.
that.
Oh
so-
my God, I would have. Like,
So
But
they made their money back basically on one drink.
But the thing is, it's more than that. It's more than the money. It is absolute. I think it's just crooked. It's crooked to charge that much.
Yeah.
But that's okay. You know what? If you want to charge that much and you can get away with it, great. But that's another thing where it's kind of like they should tell you, hey
Right.
man, that drink is $50.
Right.
Do you want another round? This is like
Right.
I think it was rude for them to do that. And it was
Without
just
telling
So when the
you.
bill came, did you see them go?
no, they didn't do it at all. But that's not the point. They in fact, they didn't even give a shit. But I did because, in fact, we were
yeah,
oblivious.
because it's highway robbery.
The guy that picked up the tab, well, he was just signed his name on there, didn't give a shit, because it's all written off.
It's a
Right.
vendor.
But when
can
he left,
charge you.
we stayed and watched the end of the football game, and so we had one more round. And the other guy that was there, he picked it up, and he was just like, "Dude,
that was $100.
yeah, that without the tip."
Right.
And he was just like, he's like, what the fuck? and that's when we were both like, we both were kind of like, well,
It's not right.
I don't mind paying, but it's just like, you should have said something,
Right.
because if I think it's something's like maybe $15-$20, or have a price list. This is what you're drinking right here.
Right.
yeah.
Just, man, it was just rude.
Well, I mean, it's like when I went to the Texans game. I mean, my father-in-law always wants he wants a double Bacardi and Coke, or Diet Coke, and so I got myself a double Jack and Coke, $60.
Yeah, well, you expect that
Ridiculous.
out of
Yeah,
some
I
of
know,
the
but I mean,
sporting
even
games.
that. I mean, Bacardi. That's
yeah.
what, $19 for a half gallon.
Yeah. Well, yeah. The whole thing is that
I mean, it's
And they
just-
probably get even less than that.
right. I mean, I don't understand why they have to do that. I can
Because people
understand
pay for it.
And then I had this aha like light bulb above my head moment because I was thinking, oh, here's why. Because they have that you have to have so much food sales versus alcohol sales, and I'm like, wait a second, that would be the opposite. You would want to make your drinks cheap so that the food bill
Was
is
bigger.
is bigger.
But-
Otherwise, you won't get you in danger of losing your liquor license.
Yeah, or
So
you get
it
these
makes
good-looking servers in there.
Yeah, so
the girls so that way they can get away with it because the last thing you want to do as a male is be to look bad. Well, I don't want to afford that. I can't pay that. They
Right.
know they're going to
There's
say
an-
they
there's
know
an
they're going
ego
to
deal,
yeah,
right.
and that's why they have those pretty girls working in there, and then they got a tip on top of that.
Right.
I just spent $1,200. Well, guess what? That bitch just made $150-$200 on serving 12 drinks.
yeah.
I want that job.
It was funny. We were at a sports bar.
You have to wear
I'll go
thong,
nude. I don't
thong
care.
and pasties.
Dude, I'll wear a freaking thong
Banana
with the
hammock?
elephant trunk in the front. I don't care.
Well, you need to ask other people.
Nah,
If-
man.
if
That
That's
that
okay.
outfit that what that guy wear?
Dude, I'll the name of my bar will be called Garanimals. And that,
Mm,
yeah. So
Should
you
be called
wear your
ba-
favorite thong.
banana hammock.
very nice.
Yeah. Banana
Yeah.
hammock. I don't know about that. I like Garana animals because you can have a variety of different
Didn't
ones.
Borat wear something like that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, do you remember when
It was
Borat?
like a red. Oh no! Somebody no one one of your
Preston had it.
Oh no, it was our Halloween podcast, and our friend Ryan came
Yes.
in, and he's like, Ryan's a big ex-Marine, 6'4", 6'5".
no, it was your Halloween party.
It was our Halloween party,
Yeah.
and he comes dressed up as Borat with a military outfit on, his cliche military outfit,
Yes.
and we started drinking, and then his jacket came off, the shirt opened up a little bit, and it exposed some glue-on hair. And then after about an hour in later, the shirt kind of like comes off a little bit. He has on a onesie that, I mean,
Yeah, but it was like
dude, there was nothing else on.
he barely had his junk covered, and he had red
He had it
ribbons
stuffed.
going up over his.
He had his junk area
pecs.
stuffed with
oh yeah, he
wool,
had
like a
he had,
little wig was
hair
down there.
like hanging out of
like
yeah.
pubes.
Oh, it was just like a muff.
It was over the top.
I wish
You know
I
what I
could
mean?
show the picture.
It got laughs for like the first 10 15 minutes, and then the rest of the night it was like,
You're like,
okay.
Did cover up
Yeah,
Yeah.
can you?
because
can
the
you-
thong went right up his butt.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
It was
God.
obscene. Absolutely obscene. He's one of the paintballers.
Yeah, when we did our paintball
Yeah,
excursion.
he was a paintballer guy. That was cool. Anyway, he's a crazy guy. Though he was a Marine. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was a Marine. He also do you remember when we had our dog, our German Shepherd Ray, for a short period of
You
time?
didn't have that dog very long.
No, well, that's because the dog had picked up Ginger and punctured her
By the skull.
by the body and just kind of wailed her around and
I have not heard this story.
yeah. So we had
That's
to get
a
rid of her.
nightmare.
Well, we had
Was
had
that a
to-
rescue dog?
I don't know where the dog
No,
from
she was a
came
puppy.
from. Yeah, we got her as a puppy, and she was all right. But it got to the point where she didn't know her place because she didn't know her place because I think we had
You had
Bronco.
no, you didn't have Bronco. You had the boxer.
I'm sorry,
Lando.
we had Lando
Lando.
and Ginger, and she didn't know her place in the pack. She was-
have no memory of you having
So
a German Shepherd.
she thought
Oh, yeah.
she was the pack leader. She was the alpha.
Oh yeah.
So whenever we went out for a walk, it was extremely difficult to walk her because she was the alpha. She needed and look, we didn't know how to handle her. She picked up the dog, did some crazy shit, and we were like, we got to give her. We can't have her. Ryan takes her. He's
Okay.
got 2 dogs. He had somebody come out here, was tried training her for a little bit, and it didn't work. And then there was like, all right, man, you know what? We're gonna get rid of her. So he calls up one more person, and I'm sorry, I was starting. So he calls up one more person. Otherwise, he's gonna have to get rid of the dog.
Right.
So this other person comes out. He was like, really, the dog whisperer, and he comes out. He was just like, well, no. Well, the dog has an alpha problem because he had bit the other dogs.
Right.
And so he was basically says you got to take them all out and walk at the same time, and it was really a struggle. So that was the reason why he only took out 1 or 2 at a time because to manage the alpha dog.
Yeah.
The Ray was her name because we named her after the Star Wars character. So, anyways, long story short, we were trying to the dog had to become part of the pack and not the alpha. So when you bring all the dogs out there together and they're all tethered onto the master, then the dog learns his ranking.
Right.
And that's what he had to do. He had to do it every single day for a couple days, for a week, and then everything kind of gelled. And he never had a problem with her after that.
Yeah.
In fact, she's a great dog right now.
That's
Yeah.
good.
A little dog moment there. And plus, I learned a little bit.
Yeah.
I forgot what the precursor was to that little thing, but you know what? Yeah, we were talking about dogs. Is that what we were talking
No.
about?
I don't
Yeah,
think
no,
so.
that was just
I think it was
random.
Star
You
Wars.
just, you just started talking about the German Shepherd.
Yeah,
didn't
you're
you? I
like,
mean,
we
it
had a
was
dog.
really awkward segue.
Come
Yeah, you're
on.
talking about the banana hammock thing. You're
Yeah,
like,
and you're like,
I have a German Shepherd.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I used
okay.
to have a German
That's
Shepherd.
right. Ryan, Ryan took our dog. That's what it was. We gave our dog to Ryan, and
Ryan made you think
yeah.
of that.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So I mean, Ryan, whatever. That was fun. He's crazy.
He is crazy.
Oh, my
like
gosh.
literally crazy.
So I have a picture of Desiree, my wife, Angel. So there's and Adrian. So there's 4 women. Okay. So imagine 4 women in kind of a U shape,
Yeah.
and there's a little crack in between the two.
Right.
All right. Ryan had bent over and pulled his pants down.
Oh,
Okay.
God.
The girls are oblivious. They're smiling. It was a perfect
So
picture.
there's a butthole in the
And there's
in the
a butt in between the girls. And they're like right there. And then it was
That's
such
so him.
yeah, it was perfect.
Yeah.
Speaking of crazy, have you seen some of the news footage of these crazy folks, like on the streets of New York and Chicago and stuff like that? Like the guy who beat the crap out of that lady
Oh,
who had
good
just
Lord,
exited
man.
an airplane at, I believe it was Kennedy in New York.
What?
You didn't see that footage where that
Was
guy?
she a security officer?
No.
She had some sort of yellow
No,
thing
she was
on.
just some lady who got off a plane or and was walking out, and he
At the airport.
at the airport.
What do you mean? So they're being let out on the tarmac?
No, it was in the
In the actual terminal.
in the
Yeah.
terminal. And she was trying to leave, and you see her running. He catches her, slams her against the wall, and then starts kneeing her, punching her, kicking her in the face.
yeah,
Were
some
they both
dude,
passengers on that plane?
no, there was
I
no
don't
one else
know.
there. Some dude, I thought it was a subway terminal, but I guess it was the airport.
I think it was the airport.
So there was some dude that
What
runs
the
up.
hell?
Some dude that runs up, and the guy
Tries to stop him,
and then he was like, this dude stands up. He was like,
and he
goes
runs
over.
off.
And he was like, yeah, fuck that. I
He
don't
turns
want none of that.
around, and this lady's on the floor, and he goes up and kicks her in the head like half a dozen times, and she lost her eyeball.
Oh my God! Just a random attack.
100% random.
That dude murdered
100%
his
random.
grandmother. The guy that did that murdered his grandmother.
And he was already out.
And, well, I mean, I think he did it when he was a kid, but whatever, man. I mean, that was a crazy story.
Yeah, these people need to be put down
Yeah.
immediately.
Well, that's
But
what it
there's-
is. Because I was
put
watching.
them down.
Well, I was watching the news, and they were talking about that. And they're like, it's these random attacks, and they showed them over and over. And it's just, someone will walk up, teenage kids just walk up behind.
And this is black on black. So,
just
this isn't black
sucker
on white.
punch, out cold, falls like a board. Just sucker punch people from behind.
I don't get it. No,
shooting
well,
people.
I mean, at least if it's I'm saying at least. I know there's TikTok challenges where to
Are there?
cold. Oh yeah, I mean cold cock somebody on a sidewalk, and if
Yeah.
you knock them out cold, then you won the challenge or whatever. I mean, there's some bullshit like that, right?
yeah.
And except these people are dying.
yeah.
Like old people are getting punched and they're dying.
Yeah, they showed that. That happened a few months ago where the guy got cold cocked. He fell, hit his head, he died.
He died, which is murder.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
He
fun
was just
game.
walking to work.
Yeah,
or
let's play a
walking-
game where we go out and murder people.
Yeah.
I mean, really?
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. And then guess what? They get arrested, and then they get let go the same night,
And they go do it again.
and they go do it again. Right?
Yeah.
Sure, why not? I mean, why wouldn't you? I mean, it's
Well, it's just like you saw the footage of the Wawa outside of Philadelphia
unbelievable.
where those kids came in.
That
and
was a
just-
mob
just
attack.
Thrashed the place. And then the lady up front, she goes, You gonna cook me a sandwich? Did you see that?
No. What?
Well, she ordered the sandwich at the counter. And then all of a sudden all these people came in and just trashed it. She's like, and she's looking around.
And they
And she-
left.
And you could hear her going, you still gonna be able to make my sandwich?
Like she didn't care about the shit that was going on
she
behind
was
her.
kind of looking, and you gonna make my sandwich? The guy's like, No, I think I'm going to get out of here. She would kind of like perturb, like, come
God.
on, I need my sandwich.
I mean, just even in those moments, the people that are not doing anything wrong are clueless. I mean, seriously, she's selfish and wants her sandwich.
Yes.
When the store's being attacked.
Yeah. So pull up the video of
my God.
the Wawa
I just don't get it.
ransacking or whatever you want to call it.
Literally, WAWA.
Yeah, Wawa.
Wawa store.
Yeah, it's the lady up front.
And she says, "Are you gonna make my sandwich?"
Yeah.
You might want to do your Archie.
Archie.
God, it's so obnoxious, but it's literally dead on.
I like to reserve this.
Yeah, you want to use it for special moments. All right, here we go. We're getting ready to watch the 15th District looting of Wawa on September 24th. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, so they got a bunch of people that are walking in.
And guess what? They're none of them are they're not wearing masks. They're not wearing masks or anything. They know exactly who they are.
Yeah, they do.
They got video footage of all them, and their clothes are very distinct.
Oh, she's got a mask on over her chin.
Well, it doesn't matter. Her clothes are incredibly distinct. This guy's whole face is visible.
This is not the video that I saw. But anyway, I thought it was funny.
Unbelievable.
The video I saw, the lady was up front. Look at that.
It happened last night at Tyson Avenue and Roosevelt Boulevard in the Mayfair section of the city.
And did they steal anything, or did they
Scouring
just
social
destroy the
media
place?
to find
Oh, no,
the
they
people
stole
responsible.
everything off the
Action
shelves.
Reporter Katie Catro is following this story and has details.
Philadelphia police are combing through videos trying to find the people responsible.
They will.
While there are no injuries to report, we spoke
Well, yeah,
with
but will they
people
do anything to
tonight
them?
who say they are frustrated
shoot 'em all.
watching those videos.
All right.
It's
That lady up
atrocious.
front.
It's disgusting. It really is. It's horrible.
Philadelphia police are investigating any videos like these that they come across on social media.
All
of
right.
A large group ransacking.
All right,
Wawa.
but that's it's.
Well, and
it's
this is like a regular occurrence.
That's
in,
what I
like,
mean.
See,
It's
now
in
San
that is
Francisco.
a trend. That's what they're doing. They're going into places like that, and it's not just. I mean, they're going to like these luxury purses places and these elegant clothing stores.
Oh yeah.
Christian Dior or something like that, or
they,
that
they just get
Louis
overwhelmed.
Vuitton.
They just get overwhelmed. They go in there
Yeah. they
and
attack.
just rip shit off the racks.
Well, when you go in there with 30 people, it's kind of hard to do anything. You're just
Total
overwhelmed.
anarchy.
Right.
And then guess what? The stores start closing
Oh yeah.
and they start
Well.
leaving.
Well,
look
Well,
what-
especially if you
San Francisco. That's what's
if
happening.
you rob one of those Louis Vuitton, that's hundreds of thousands of
Right.
potential shit gone.
Right.
That stuff's expensive.
Yeah.
And it's costly. And how many times does that need to happen before they're like, yeah, we're done.
You know what they need to do? They need to have a system where when they come into the store, the doors, yes, boom, the doors lock, and then they put on gas masks, and gas goes, and they all just kind of crumple to the floor, and then
Yeah.
slash their throats.
I also just saw a they crumple to the floor and they kind of
God
melt.
damn, they got dirt.
Sorry, yeah, that was
It's
too
kind of
far.
like the guys in
Behead them.
Raiders of the Lost
No,
Ark.
I do like the idea of the doors locking. I think there should be like some exit stage left door, for the people that work there.
Yeah,
Well,
for
there's
the-
a new
yeah,
there's a new one that I just saw where
That's brilliant.
some punk comes into I think New York bodega or something like that, and he's like, give me your money. He has a gun, and he's not paying attention. He hops over the counter. Well, the workers leave, and they lock the door behind him, and it's like reinforced steel and everything. And he finally goes, he realizes where he's at. And he tries to open it, and he's stuck in there.
Oh no!
And he's trying to kick it. He's running into it. It's not budging at all. He's trying to shoot it, trying to shoot the lock.
Oh my!
Not
gosh.
budging. It's not doing anything. And you can hear him. He goes, I'm stuck. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? And then he starts getting desperate. He starts praying to the people walking by. Let me out. I did nothing wrong. I did
Oh
nothing
my
wrong.
God!
Yeah. And then the final scene are the cops opening the door and arresting his ass.
And slitting his throat.
What the hell's going on
Wow.
over there,
It's
man?
time to put these guys down. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm getting a little too dark here.
You think?
God.
Yeah, I mean, at least euthanize them. I mean, stick them in a gas
I'm
chamber or
kidding.
something.
I'm
Yeah.
kidding. God. Anyway, it's just really aggravating. When is it going to stop?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, it's these DAs that
yeah,
they don't punish this shit.
Soft on crime.
here you can steal $900 worth of stuff and no problem.
Yeah. When I was in San Francisco, I
That's
went
a nice
to
TV these days.
Yeah, I went to an Oracle. Oh, here's a video right here. Yeah, he's like, okay, do you want me
So
to kill you
guy-
right now?
Guy around the
Yeah, this guy
counter
walks
pulls
up
out a
and
gun.
he makes him lay down. Oh, so this is a phone
Looks like a
store.
cell phone shop.
Yeah, and he's making him lie down on his stomach until the cops get there. Yeah, this is not going to. Oh, there we go. Yeah, and they're doing stuff to him. They're arresting him and cuffing
What
him.
kind of was that? A big Bowie knife he kicked out?
Okay, this is gonna like.
All right, so there's a compilation of videos where there are different people holding up the stores.
And she had like not listening to them or something.
I don't know.
I don't know what's going on.
The
Well-
lady's checking out.
It is. They're checking out people. And this other person pushing this person out the store with the gun.
Was she just like an old Jewish mom or something like that? Get out of here!
Yeah, I can see that's plastic.
And what's this
going
guy
on
doing?
over
This
here?
this guy's trying to steal. He's trying to steal a,
Probably the ATM.
the ATM machine.
That's what he's doing. That's like a Home Depot truck he rented.
Yeah, but the rope cut. See how the rope's broke right there? So he pulls off of the truck and the rope's totally disconnected.
That's
And he
funny.
like connects it back up together. Oh, and he can't reach it. So he's got to back up the truck to get closer to the chain. Oh, he gave up.
Well,
You know, a funny story I read today was this guy did a Tinder. You might want to shut that off, Mr. Producer. He ordered a Tinder. and-
what's a Tinder?
Oh, Tinder is where you can do
It's
like,
kind of like Grinder.
except for like heterosexual people.
We were giving you shit on one of the podcasts about Grinder. You're like, I don't have a Grinder,
Well,
Yeah, so this guy orders a
but
Tinder.
it's regular dating,
Yeah, he orders a Tinder, and the hookup is at a hotel.
right?
So he goes to the hotel, he knocks on the door, he goes in the room, and it's a husband and wife or just a man and a woman, and they basically, rob him,
Right.
and they make him take him to the ATM and pull out a bunch of money, and then they let him go, and he goes to the police, and they rented the room under their own names.
Brilliant.
Brilliant. And when they stole his car. So then they figure out where his car is, and
arrest him.
there's a chase, a car chase, right? And then they steal another car, and then eventually they get him. Yeah,
Well, the criminals, they're
they're
not.
just stupid.
They're just stupid.
so there's Tinder and there's Grinder.
Grinder's the gay app. Tinder is the normal.
Heterosexual.
That's
Heterosexual.
why you guys were saying it.
Yes.
You guys are jackasses.
Yeah.
You didn't know what Grinder was, huh?
Dude, I didn't know what Grinder was until you just said right now.
No, we had a podcast about
Yeah,
it.
but you said we did the podcast. I was there, but you guys never told me what it was. Like, you've had a Grinder before. I was like, I have not heard of Grinder, and then no one explained what Grinder was, and then saw.
You were Googling
Oh, there you go,
it.
Grinder, the world's largest social networking for Pauls and Jeffs
Speaking
no, not what it says.
did you see?
for dudes like you.
Did you see the new movie that came out that bombed? It's called Bros. And
I heard about
the
it.
director is all bent out of shape because no one went and saw it.
Oh, what a shocker!
And he's blaming all the homophobic heterosexual people.
Of course he is.
What's it called?
For
Bros?
this.
What?
It's called Bros.
And it's
It's a-
woke.
it's
I
a-
heard, all I heard is that it's woke.
It's highly woke. It's a gay rom-com.
Well, I mean, it would, if at best, it would get 5% of the
Well,
population. right?
I read a review of it, and this guy made a perfect point. He goes, the people who like rom-coms are women,
Right.
and women don't want to see this. And there's two guys
Yeah.
From
touching
the
each other's
producer of
ass.
Bridesmaids
Yeah. So,
comes a romantic comedy
and basically, it's this
with balls.
it's this guy who has sex with everybody.
Yeah. I'll pass.
Yeah.
So it's failing
Come to a theater
miserably.
near
Huh?
you September
Failed
30th.
miserably. Opening weekend, I think it made $4 to $4.5 million,
Good.
So hold on. So
Glad to hear that.
Billy Eichner, if you go back
and
down
he's
to
all
the
bent out of
stars
shape
in there.
about it.
So Bill Eichner, was that the guy, Bobby, is that the guy from never mind. No,
He's
it's
a
not him.
hardcore activist.
Oh, of course he is.
Hardcore activist.
I recognize one of those actors. He was in some.
Go back, please.
I recognize one of them.
McFarland, Luke McFarland.
Yeah, I recognize him for some reason. I
Miss
don't know.
Lawrence was on some Wanda. That was on some show. Man, I don't know. I haven't really Jim Rash. It does.
It's an entire cast of I guarantee.
Deborah Messing, wasn't she on the?
Will and Grace.
Yeah.
Oh,
Whatever,
of
man.
course she signed up for that movie because
But
she's going to show support.
Dude,
right?
But here's the thing, man.
I don't care either.
Nobody cares.
No one
Nobody
cares.
You know, in fact, you know what? Some gay movies are fun. Look at Robin Williams with that
The Birdcage.
The Birdcage.
That's
That was
a brilliant
freaking
movie.
hilarious.
That
You
is
know-
actually
Well,
a brilliant movie.
The part I was calling out is he's all bent out of shape because it tanked,
right.
because it's getting bad reviews, and people don't want to go see it.
Right.
Yeah.
So he's saying that it's the homophobes that are causing it to
So,
not do it.
so Robin Williams, that's was such a great example. So, is that a appropriation? He was a straight guy playing a gay guy and very flamboyant about it,
Right.
Oh man, it was
but not
fantastic.
as flamboyant as the other guy, who might be.
I think he is.
Gay.
He is.
Yeah.
That's the guy who did Timon in The Lion King.
He's a boat rider.
He's God, he's a brilliant actor. That movie is fantastic.
But
But-
Birdcage.
Yes,
Yeah.
I never saw it.
it's
I-
absolutely
I
fantastic.
like the guy that was the maid.
Nathan
Ed-
Lane.
Oh, the pool boy.
Yeah, the pool boy. There was what he was. He was the pool boy.
You know that is Azalea Frank.
Azaria.
Yes,
Yeah.
Hank.
Abu from
Yes, Hank Azaria. That's exactly
From
who
The
that
And
is.
he also played on the. He also
He's
played
also,
on A Night of the Museum, and he was the guy that was like, "It's the tunic."
Yeah, that's
you
him.
know.
Hank Azaria.
he was also in Godzilla with Matthew Broderick.
Who was?
Yeah, nobody
Hank
cares
Azaria.
about
That's the pool boy.
that. Yeah.
Remember, he goes, "Yo, watermelonist."
So I mean, a lot of the dudes like us, if you're our age, you've seen the Birdcage. You probably thought it was pretty funny.
I've
And-
not
It's
seen the
hilarious.
Birdcage.
have you not?
No.
Oh, well, it really is
It's
funny.
fantastic.
I mean, the Robin
really,
Williams
really
did
funny.
a great job on it. The idea is that Robin Williams used to be married at one point, has a daughter or son, I don't remember which one, and his, I think it was a son, and Robin Williams was meeting his son's fiance for the first time because they were going to get married, and so he was meeting the in-laws to be, and so Robin was dressed up like a woman, and his husband was dressed up like a real guy. And I forget the dynamic, whether I think they really believed that Robin was a woman.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
I think that
That
was
was
part
Mrs.
of it.
Doubtfire.
Kind of like that, yeah.
Well, yes. So the daughter who's getting married is Robin Williams' father, who is gay and has a partner. Well, she is introducing her fiance to her father. And of course the partner can't be in the scene because they're ultra conservative. They just wouldn't understand.
Yeah, it was Gene
They
Hackman.
yeah, Gene Hackman, and they just wouldn't understand. So they hide him away. Well, he comes out dressed out as a woman.
He is a senator or a congressman or something like that
Yes,
in
yes.
the show.
And they completely fall in love with her.
So it's kind of like Letterkenny.
It's
Yeah.
it's
Well,
absolutely classic.
You guys explain it. It's hard to get across the quality of a comedy
By explaining
by
it.
explaining.
It totally is.
I misspoke. It was Robin Williams was the guy, and the other woman,
other one,
Nathan
the other
Lane.
woman was the other.
Right.
His partner was the female. And I tell you, I'm just thinking
but
about
not a cross-dresser. He's
This-
just a gay man.
Birdcage was Tara and I's first movie we ever got. It was Tara and I's first date,
Yes.
and I
It had Callista Flockhart
Yes,
in
I
it.
forgot
Oh.
that. That's Harrison Ford's wife.
Correct.
Yes.
that movie.
Solo's
when
wife.
Tara and I went.
You think she dresses up
We
in
smuggled
that Princess Leia
a bottle of
outfit?
wine in and a bunch of Taco Bell.
Oh, so you've been doing this alcohol
For
smuggling thing for
years.
quite a while.
Wow. Well, dude, come on. Really?
I didn't realize that.
Well, I mean, it's just like, why would you? This is the thing. I mean, there are some people, there's some movie theater experts, movie theater enthusiasts out there. They're kind of like, that is so bad. Those people depend on the money from those refreshments. You know what, man? I'm not going to drop $20 on a small popcorn.
I hear you.
Suck it. Period.
Yeah, no, I get it.
You know, I'll spend the
I found
ticket.
all sorts of shit as an usher.
You know, it's just like,
People would bring in everything.
but you know,
Would you care?
I had one person explain to me, well, they don't make a whole lot of profit on the movie itself.
Yeah, but do they
and-
need to make 3,000% on my popcorn?
Right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Exactly. And then even after COVID, it's kind of like, remember that you get the super large popcorn and then you can come back and get yourself a free one. Well, they yanked that one now. They don't even give out that free one anymore. I was really disturbed.
Oh,
I
they
went
don't
to
have the refills anymore?
No,
we-
they got rid of the
Well,
refill due to
had
COVID.
we had the one refill, and then we would take it, and they, usually they wouldn't mark the bottom of it, and so the same guy would come back with this nasty ass popcorn bucket. You could bring it back like another day.
Oh, really?
You bring it back another day, and if it didn't have an R on it, which meant refill, then you could just keep using it. Well, one day I took it and filled it up and wrote R on the bottom of it, and he got all pissed off.
Really?
Pissed off because he wanted free popcorn forever. And I was like, there you go. There you
So
go.
he had to buy a new one.
It was a nasty, nasty carton.
Would you look at it and kind of go,
Well, you know what people would do? They would go in through the trash and grab a carton, or grab a large popcorn, and they would go up there and get
that's
a
nasty.
free bucket of popcorn.
You've seen people do that.
Oh yeah,
Fuck.
oh yeah. They would grab them out of the trash to
I
get
don't
their.
need popcorn that bad.
Yeah, no kidding.
Upsets my stomach if I eat that much with all the butter and everything.
I don't get
I
butter.
never
But
did
it's
butter.
so good.
Yeah,
It's
you don't
so
know where
good.
that butter's
Oh,
been.
Butter's
It's
nasty.
just oil. Oh, it's not butter. It's oil.
Well, it's still nasty.
It's
Yes.
it's petroleum that's probably not even digestible. It probably
it's
probably doesn't even
just-
absorb it. It's just a bunch of
liquid.
salt.
It's
Yes.
hydrogenated
That's
or
definitely-
partially hydrogenated.
Partially, it's fully.
So we cooked our popcorn. I'm remembering this. We cooked our popcorn in peanut oil,
Correct.
and then when you get it, you open up the can, and it's like solid. It's
With
like
the peanut oil?
Yeah,
it was solid.
I
So
remember that.
you had these long sticks, the heating sticks, and you just stick them down in there, plug it in, and then that was part of the whole. You better make sure that shit is ready to go. Because when popcorns are flowing and it's summertime and all the lines are out the doors and it's crazy. I mean, you got to make sure that shit's ready to go because and then it never failed. I'm the usher and I'm supposed to do all that switching out of the sodas and get more ice and do the oil.
Paul, we needed a Coca-Cola canister in the
Yeah.
CO2 machine. Come on, we got to go. Stop.
Yeah, seriously.
We ran out of
Seriously.
popcorn kernels.
And
Can you get it?
I would go back
Need
there.
some more coconut oil.
I'd go out there and I'd grab the peanut oil and I'd open it up and
Holy shit! They finished all the cinnamon Jolly Ranchers.
no, they never said that. We never had Jolly Ranchers.
Oh,
The snow caps?
Anyway, there'd be
Jujubes?
panic. There'd be panic because the damn thing wasn't defrosted or whatever you called it, thawed. What do you call it?
Melted.
Melted. Thank you. Melted.
Rendered.
Anyway, I was a genius. I made it melt faster.
Yes. So what,
Put your
what,
penis in there.
No, I put 3 heat sticks in there. And then I would take it, whatever was melted, and I would pour it into an empty one and run that out there and get the poppers going. Meanwhile, I'm still doing. I mean, you got to be smart. You got to be smart. You know what I'm saying?
That's why your wife fell in love with you. Was like, oh, check him out. He is a multitasker. That's what I
not
want.
to mention he was pre-lubed.
Oh
Just
yeah.
had oil
I've
everywhere.
told you this story.
Oh, he smells
She
like
was
peanut
incredibly
oil.
irritated with me. She was the head.
Oh yeah, you had to check her
Usherette.
out.
Yes, she was the head concession. I
Oh.
was the head usher. The head usher person has to tell
Clean it again.
the concession crew when they can go. And yeah, and first off, we were flirting like crazy. And I took the napkin and I would nobody does this, right? I walked up and I did the inside of the thing, and if there's anything on it, I would just go, yeah, do it again. Yeah, she was like,
Did she kick you in the balls?
oh, she was just like glaring at me.
She's like, you're not getting into that.
And I was like, you want me, you know it. How about that? Suck it. Well, she didn't. I know you're about to say
God.
she did, but she
No, I didn't want to. I
didn't.
didn't
Yeah,
want to
you
allude
were.
to anything.
You were going to say that.
No, I wasn't.
Well, later.
no, I wasn't.
Later she did.
I was just.
God!
I was just
Not
picturing
that
you
night.
in your
After we had kids.
black and white
Oh.
checkered vinyl movie theater pants, pitching a tent.
Yeah,
with
that
oil
was-
all
Yeah,
over
I
it.
mean, the material was so thin. So yeah, if any of that happened, you kind of had to stay put.
You had to see outlines.
Well, I mean, I don't know.
Well, I know the
You gotta
u-
stay put.
The
You can't go
uniform. The uniform I had when I worked at McDonald's was nasty. It was a real thick polyester, and it got so greasy.
Oh,
Did it
nasty.
breathe? I guess it
It
didn't
didn't breathe at
Oh.
all. I'd be
Ah.
a sweaty mess back there. I had the
Oh, gross.
the shirt and the pants.
You didn't have an apron?
No,
Ah.
no, and then this is when you actually cooked hamburgers at McDonald's, right?
Right.
On the grill, and you flip it.
And
And
you said you had like 100 going at the same time. It was
oh
crazy.
yeah, I cooked so many hamburgers.
I
yeah.
literally just listened to that podcast like last week.
Oh really?
You are
It's like a
so
year.
far
I'm a year.
behind.
Remember, I'm a year behind.
I know. But I remember your hands would get so greasy, I'd wipe them on my thighs. And at the end of the night, my thighs were so greasy, I'd take them off at home, and my leg hairs were greasy and stuck to my legs. That's so much grease.
That's wonderful.
Yes.
Yeah. So those are things that certain kids don't appreciate. You know, you growing
No
up.
kidding. They have no idea.
No. But I'd be
No.
so tired. I'd close Friday, Saturday, and I'd work 11 to 7 on Sunday when I was in school, right? When I was
Yeah.
in high school. And I'd get home about 2:30 at closing. So I'd be dead
And
tired.
then go to school.
No, this was on Friday nights, Saturday nights.
Oh, damn. I used to close it. I mean, I'd get home at 1 o'clock and have to go to school the
No,
next
my
morning.
parents didn't let me work during the week during school. So I'd get home at 2:30, 3 o'clock, depending on how trash the place was. And I'd be dead tired. I'd be like, I need to shower. But I just fell
But I
into bed.
just can't.
Yeah, I just fell into bed, and I smelled like hamburger.
Right. And so your bed was all greasy and
My mom, I never thought about it. My mom would probably change my sheets, and it smelled like a burger. Right? It was probably all greasy. She's like, God, what's he doing in here?
at first you're probably like, oh, that smells wonderful.
She's like,
But then
just
after a
sniffing
month
it.
of that, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, it was a mess. I mean, your face is all greasy because it's splattering everywhere.
Yeah, everything's going out of your pores.
Yeah, it was bad. Hair's all greasy. My hair was longer back then. I didn't have long hair, but it was longer than what it is
Did you have it
now.
in a ponytail? Did
No.
you have a man bun?
No, I did not have a man bun.
Did you
Did
ever have a
woman
man bun? Woman bun. Did you ever have a man bun, John?
No, I had long hair, but I never had it was never put up in a bun.
No?
Well, but actually, you know what? I did have long hair, but it was actually for a very short amount of time. I think it was like junior to senior. I think, a little
Like
bit
to your
after.
asshole or to your shoulders?
It was
Wow.
below the shoulders, but I think that's where it capped, and then I got to the point where it was. I got it to
It's too much work.
It was too much work, and I didn't give a shit. And after I cut it, it was just. I was a woman magnet, anyways.
Oh,
right. So it
Yeah.
didn't matter if it was long or short. Okay, yeah.
I've always had the. I've always liked my hair short, and I've got it always short. And it's only been recently that I started looking bad after I gained 2,000 pounds. So now I've got short hair with. I probably need to grow it long again.
You
Maybe
should grow long hair again, to like wear a
Yeah,
ponytail.
that would be a great look.
a man
You
bun.
really should do it.
400-pound fat dude with the man bun.
Yeah, it's hot.
Good
What's going on
Lord.
with my deep voice? You guys hear my deep voice?
No.
No.
Is it sexy?
No.
Do you like my sexy voice?
Are you sick? You have allergies?
Yeah, I think I have COVID.
Oh,
Oh.
Hey, sorry guys, I have COVID.
You saw Canada just lifted
Jesus.
their on October 1st. They lifted all their shit.
Completely.
So now you can go to Canada.
Yeah. Oh, I can't wait.
Well, I want to go. I want to take Julie up there. I want to go to
I
Vancouver.
think-
It's beautiful.
We're gonna
Yeah.
Banff.
It's beautiful up there. It is.
There's places up there I want to go, and I was just like, we're looking for places for vacations.
Right.
And you kind of dealt with this. She's like, I want to go to New York City. This was before. I have no desire to go down with the crime and shit.
I do not
I was
either.
like, well, I'm not going to go because everything's shut down. I'm not vaccinated. So no, I'm not going to New York.
right.
Don't want to go to California just because
Hell
that's a piece of
no.
shit out there too.
Yeah.
Like, well, let's look at Canada. Oh, well, we can't travel to Canada because they're not letting people into Canada right now,
Right.
and everything's shut down. Even if you did make it up there, so now it's finally open, and all the mask mandates are gone.
Yeah.
Finally up there.
Well, you got to make your plans. Make it
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
You want to hear a funny story? So I went to Chicago, like a month ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, and I was in the Uber, and I was talking to the Uber girl, it was a young black woman, pretty, and I was asking her, so how long you been in Chicago, and blah 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 blah, and she was like, well, where are you from? I'm from Dallas, and she's like, I'm thinking about moving to Dallas, and I was like, really? Why? I thought you said you like Chicago and whatever. She goes, well, I'm ready for a change. Long story short, I was giving her my perception of Chicago, which is I may not last 24 hours.
Right.
I'm going to get shot a million times while I'm wearing body armor.
Right.
And her impression of Texas, she was apprehensive about going to Texas because, everybody's got guns and it's probably really, really unsafe. And everybody, just won't let anybody have an abortion.
what?
Really?
Yes.
That was her. Okay,
Yes.
So
yes.
she
literally, yes.
she had two reasons.
Two
She
reasons.
could get an abortion.
And everyone has guns.
And
And
everyone's
everybody
got
has guns.
All right. Well,
And I'm like, okay, my perception of Chicago is probably extreme to you, isn't it? Well, yeah, I mean, we have crime, but I mean, it's not that bad. And I'm like, and your perception of Texas is very extreme.
Right.
Isn't it so? You whatever you learn on TV, whatever you.
Well, I tell you what,
Yeah.
the
Well,
perception.
good. Keep those fuckers out.
The perception of Texas is we're a bunch of redneck
Just-
with a bunch of guns.
Completely just walking around shooting into the air like every 2 seconds.
Because I went to a wedding and it was in St. Louis, and I met up with the guy who I went to college with.
Right.
He was older than me. He was actually someone else's friend, but he was there. I had my 2 sons with me.
Right.
Went up to him and I was like, "Hey, how's it going? I haven't seen you in a while." First thing out of his mouth, he goes, "So you're from Texas? Did you bring all your guns with you?"
Oh my God.
That's the first thing he said to me
How
in 20
ignorant.
years.
How ignorant.
At that point, I just kind of went, "Good to see you."
Yeah, you're like, fuck off. You from California?
Yeah. No, he's from Ohio. Just a libtard. Right.
Hard.
And I was just like, whatever, dude, you're a lost cause. If that's the first thing out of your mouth after not seeing me for 20 years,
Yeah, that's sad.
finding out that I've been living in Texas the whole time. And my 2 boys were like, what was that about?
Who was
What's wrong
this?
with that guy?
Yeah.
Who is this?
Just a guy I used to
Just
know in
anybody,
college.
okay.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Yeah, well, you know what? It's ignorance.
It
And-
is ignorance on both sides,
Yeah,
honestly.
it's ignorance on both sides. I mean, I think about the same shit about hell. I thought the same thing about Chicago. But you know what?
and-
You
and
think
you know
about
what?
that anywhere you go.
We literally just got done talking about how we would never go to California because California is not that bad, right?
Well, I
I mean,
think-
It's not that bad.
Well, the
Los
only
Angeles.
well, the only stories we hear. I mean, think about it. There's 5 million people
well,
that live
you're
in
talking
Los
about the
Angeles.
inner city.
Yeah, you're talking about like certain areas at certain times, right? There are
I have no
people-
desire to go there.
I understand, but you see what I'm saying. Like people in Los Angeles, you know, would
Are they numb to it though?
they would think it's ludicrous that
Well, there
we
are-
have our,
it's like
our
Dallas.
opinion.
There
of-
are
of that.
parts of
I
LA
don't- I
that
disagree
are
with that.
desirable, and there's
I
parts that
disagree
aren't.
with that.
I'm sure there are parts of LA that they do police some of the homeless folk and corral them into the area. I thought they were trying to clean up some of that stuff.
No, I mean
No.
they're trying to get rid of tent cities, but they don't have a solution.
You get
Well,
rid
they
of
say
tent
they
cities.
want to, but they're not
cares?
going to.
Right. They're
Yeah,
not
but
doing anything.
you know what? It's called you don't have 10 cities. And
And where you put these people?
they got to figure it out.
Well, a lot of these people are mentally ill,
I know.
Well, then you start.
Or addicts.
and then you put them into institutions.
Those are the
All
two.
right, well,
those are the two
but that's okay
categories.
too.
Addicts and mental.
You
illness.
put them in those communities. You put them in those institutions because I'll tell you what, the amount of money you're going to save, because they're out there buying. I think that was retarded. They're out there buying tents for these folks, and at the
$60,000.
there you go, nailed it. So with that
Government
type
spending.
with that type of funding, why not just pay for the facilities to rehab them? And just say, all right, hey, how you doing? You know, and we got a job for you set up. You know, you're going to be doing this, and you know, we've got a cot for you to sleep here because they've got this open area. Actually, they've got places set up like prisons, and it's not. I mean, because it's a small little room,
I know what you mean.
and it's
A lot of cops and stuff.
there. Well, it's a cage, so to speak, but it's only like 4 foot wide, enough for a fucking bed and for you to walk around it.
Right.
It's not enough for you to be happy and to be in there. It's a place for you to exist while you figure shit out.
Right.
You know,
And they lock you in there.
I don't think they lock you in there, but it's I think you have the ability to. I don't know. It's a sleeping place. I don't know what to call them. It's a shelter.
Yeah, it's a shelter.
Yeah.
They don't want to live in the shelters
Well, but
yeah, why?
because they can't do drugs
Right. There you go.
and they can't take their shit in there, their belongings.
There you go.
So they live on the street because they want to do drugs whenever they want,
Right.
and they don't want to give up their possessions.
Or they're mentally ill.
well, then you know what?
And they
Then
don't know any better.
maybe we ought to find some storage place for them. You know, I mean, if they have a room that's allocated for them, then have a storage place in that area for them that's
You're going to pay
inaccessible.
for all that.
Well, I mean, they're already paying for it. They're spending $64,000 on a tent that costs $50.
I don't want to pay for that. Well, that's in California. I
Yeah.
don't want to pay for that.
Well, like this big hotel complex where every room has big TVs.
But
And
I'm
then
sorry.
they
well,
can
they're
have,
doing
like-
that now,
And
too.
they can have like a really peaceful place. And
Well,
Soylent Green
yeah.
is people.
Yeah, well, that's fucked up that they're making the hotels pay for that type of
But yeah, they're doing that now too.
accommodations.
They have to claim their open rooms by 2 or 3 o'clock,
Yeah,
so they
that's-
could let the homeless take the rest of them.
Oh my God! And would you want to stay in that hotel?
You know,
No,
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go visit.
Just
For
say
free.
I'm homeless.
Yeah.
For free.
Hey, I'm homeless here.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to be hanging around the Waldorf Astoria going, I'm first, I'm
Yeah,
first, I'm
yeah.
first.
Yeah, I have nowhere to go.
I get the luxury hotel.
No, I'm
God,
sure
it's
that those
just- it's
guys
just
at the
sad.
Waldorf have special plans set up to keep those fools.
No, I think a lot of it has to do with the mental illness and how do we treat that?
How do we treat it?
Because they've closed a lot of those mental facilities.
Yeah.
So the facilities aren't there anymore. And
Why?
I don't
Why
know.
they
They
close them?
decided to close these. It was federally funded, and
Because they were evil places or
I
something?
guess, yeah,
I
probably.
mean, you do hear horror stories of
right.
what happens in mental institutions, right? I mean, they just keep them drugged all the time, and
Right.
there's nothing wrong with them, and who knows what else happens.
Right. But I think they need to reevaluate that and open up some facilities and send these people there. You know, these guys that are just on the streets strung out, you know,
Yeah.
mental illness, right?
Awful.
All right, let's send you off. Let's see if we can't make you better, make you a contributing citizen.
You know, and there are some non-government, organizations,
NGOs.
yeah, NGOs that
Right.
that do that stuff.
Right.
You know, and they hook them up, and they
Right.
put whole families in
Right.
an apartment complex, and they
Oh, I have empathy.
get them on their feet, and
Yeah, I have empathy. It's for the folks that are really down on their luck, families.
yes,
But the people who want to choose that lifestyle,
I know, you can't help them.
that I want to live on the street,
Yeah,
and fuck you, I'm going to live on the street. I want to do my drugs.
right.
I want to shit wherever I want.
I want to beg on the corner.
Yeah, I want to do whatever I want, and I don't want to follow the rules. There's a lot of those out there.
There are,
Screw that. Let's put
and
them
guess
in
where
the-
they all gravitated to states that allow it to happen.
Correct.
States and cities that allow it to happen.
Correct.
Austin, Texas.
Austin, yeah, and San Francisco, L.A.,
Right.
and
Democrat-run cities.
right. It's the folks that
Are they still doing that in Austin?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Good Lord. Isn't there something we can do to protest that?
No, you have to vote the mayor out and all those folks.
Yeah, and they just
That's the city. That's not the state.
it's swarming with liberals, so that's never going to happen.
It's the city. It's a city government.
Yeah.
Abbott can't do anything. He may be able to pass a state thing, but the city will just say, "Well, we have a city ordinance."
Yeah, we're a sanctuary city.
Yeah. So
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I would find a way around that. I would find a way around that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd figure it out. I'd go buy $1 billion worth of stink bombs and just.
And just make them keep moving. Make it uninhabitable.
I don't know. It's just, it's so non. It's so.
It's so frustrating. Is what it is. There's no reason why these people,
It's just toxic.
in some form or fashion, can't be functioning members of society.
It's
like I
toxic.
said, some of them are mentally ill, and
Well, they can still get help.
they can, but they're not getting any help right now.
Right.
They're getting handed drugs
Right.
from these governments, needles with drugs,
Yeah. Safe
crack
needles.
pipes.
Don't share needles. Here's a fresh
Biden
needle.
sent out crack pipes
Yeah. Yeah.
to.
And phones so
The
that they could
homeless.
call their drug dealers.
Yeah, that's what I don't get. You're feeding it. Well, they're going to buy it anyway. We need to make sure they're clean
And safe.
and safe.
Oh, man, I would just want them to euthanize themselves. You know, I mean, it's-
Wow.
hey,
And you
Wow.
get mad at me for wanting
Wow,
to slit the
between you
throats of
killing
people
all the
that-
homeless and
No,
you're like
but
slitting
look,
the
Well,
thug.
I never said that.
Well, I'm not okay. I'm not. Look, if they don't care and the government's not going to step in and help them, who's going to help them? I mean, why should I have to pay
Right.
for them to sit there and take drugs?
That's my point.
I mean, why should I have to pay for that? You know,
Right.
that's bullshit.
Right.
You know, and I totally disagree with it. I think that they should be yanking that shit off the street. If they're going to spend money on something, it would be to rehab them. And I
Right.
wouldn't mind spending on money helping people get better.
Correct.
And there are some folks that the bar has passed. I mean,
Some people
they're
don't want
way
help.
gone.
Some
And-
people
Well,
don't
maybe
want
you
help.
get
I would say the most of them, the majority of them, are simply lazy.
well, maybe you get 3 strikes, and then if you blow it on that, they send you to Ukraine, and you fight on the front lines against Russia.
Well, it's possible, or they just put you on a rubber raft and push you.
Off of the Niagara Falls.
No, just towards that Google boat off the shores of California.
Oh no, they'll help
Yeah,
you.
I saw a news story where it was in L.A. where this homeless guy was camped in front of this guy's business, and he was there's a video. He goes, "This guy lives right outside my business, and he shits."
in like a tent.
No, he's just underneath like a little awning
Okay.
and with his shit. And there's this video the guy pulls up, and you see the guy. It's kind of blurred out. He's squatted down and he's catching his shit, and then he throws it at the guy at his car.
See, that's mental illness.
And so he contacts the local news people. He could probably call the cops too, but he called the news. So the news goes out there and tries to interview this guy. And she starts questioning him, and he starts yelling at her. He goes, I don't want any help. I want to be able to shit wherever I want to shit.
Well, I mean, I think we've all felt that way at some point.
And he needs to let me do it.
You don't want to just shit wherever you want?
That's called a baby.
A baby?
That's called the person who has.
baby.
That's called the person who's elected to live that way.
What the hell?
That's called a baby.
It was a baby.
No, but seriously, that's the mentality of a
that's
baby.
Mental illness.
But
100%.
he's happy being there doing that.
Shitting on that guy's business.
Yeah, get out of my way.
Well, move him over to Pelosi's house. They're all shitting on her driveway.
That's sheer defiance.
Right.
I don't think that's.
He was an older guy. He was in his 50s.
That's old.
You don't think
I
he
said
knows any better?
older.
I just think he's lost it.
Maybe even 60.
Those type of dudes, I don't know, man. You need to beat them into, they need a new start somewhere else. They need to be rehabbed.
And he was eating well. He wasn't skinny.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the unfortunate thing. I mean, in all seriousness, we all want the best for everyone, right?
Sure.
We want the best for these people. We want them to get back on their feet and feel good about themselves, feel like they're making a contribution, confidence and all that, right? I mean, but there are some people, especially drug addicts, man, there's nothing you can do until they make a decision to change their life.
Or they die, usually.
Yeah, unfortunately. Right.
Well, too much.
And speaking of addicts, that was a great bourbon tonight.
I need to finish mine. Shit.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Neither one of you finished your bourbon?
You shotgunned yours and your beer.
Yeah, he losed it.
Yeah. I thought that's what we were supposed to do.
No, you're supposed to sample it, try it. Dudes Like Us, it is October 4th. It is a fantastic day. We got the second half coming up with another fantastic 124 proof.
Well, we don't know.
Are we going strong?
Why not, man? Just
well, if you're doing
off.
the rye, that's 115.
Well,
if we're doing the other one, it's 127.
We have a lot of cool topics we reserved for the second half of Dudes Like Us. I'm Sean.
I am Paul.
And I'm Jeff.
Shout out to our producer, Mr. Austin.
Wake up over there.